1 minute warning!
To the goofball army out there, hi at the families, tell them to get to the next room, tell them to go to your neighbors, because we got goofball news to go over, and it might get crazy.
Typically does, guys. If this is your first episode ever, you got like 30 seconds before we start, so not enough time to go to the bathroom, but go get a drink, because trust me, you're probably going to need it there. In the meantime, the rest, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. That way you know about future episodes as well, guys. Buckle your seatbelts if you haven't already. Make sure your tray is in the upright position here, guys, because we are just about ready to get going. And like, oof.
Guys, if you want a crazy ride going forward, a bunch of nonsense, but all nothing but the truth about the Giants, listen in, buckle in, tell a friend.
Let's go.
And now, here are your goofball hosts, Drew and Rob.
Welcome, fellow goofballs, to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. I am Drew, joined as always by...
I'm me, Rob. And happy saddest day of the year, the longest day until we see football again.
Yeah, well, you look at it one of two ways. Yes, it's going to be the longest day until we see football again. You're not wrong there. But it's been a bad season for Giants fans. Let's be very frank about that.
Let's wash our hands and go to a better season.
Well, I wash my hands all the time. Are you saying you don't wash your hands usually, Rob?
I'm just saying, do you really wash your hands? Because I've been around you. Just saying.
Wow. Anyway, guys, we got a lot of new hires to go over. Of course, we got to go over everything with the Super Bowl yesterday and all the chaos and I think joy for most of the country watching the Patriots get their butts kicked here. So let's go over everything with you here. All righty. So the game itself, I got to say, to me, it was disappointing. I was disappointed because you got a team in the Seahawks, who obviously is known for having a lot of points scored each time they play, a really prolific offense. I mean, their offensive coordinator is getting poached. He's that good. You know, you got the Patriots, which obviously got a young, exciting quarterback. You expect some scoring here potentially. That was so boring.
I would have to disagree. I understand why you can say it's boring. You had two great defenses going against each other.
Yeah.
And what's the classic saying? Defense wins rings. And you had two legitimate great defenses going against each other. And yes, you have Drake May, the sophomore, who has come up and looked great. But also year two, you got Sam Darnold, who first round draft pick, by the Jets, which living in Jersey it's fantastic watching Jet fans melt. Watch him win the Super Bowl. Although he didn't win MVP, which is something we could talk about later, but it was a defensive battle, which I expected. And I thought there would have been a little more mistakes by the Seahawks. But they ran the ball most of the time and just kicked field goals. And it was a little boring that way, but it was how to stop that offense and that on both sides. And that's what you got. The defensive
But they didn't play conservative, the Seahawks. And I was kind of like, what? Like it was like third down, and they're like, let's run the ball. I'm like, what are you doing? Pass the ball, do something, get some offense going. Like, and it just seemed like to me like you were afraid. You were afraid to let Sam Darnold be the one to control whether they win or lose that game. That's how it came off to me.
I agree. I was literally about to say that right when you interject there. I felt like they thought he was good enough to get them there, but not to get them to the dance finale, you feel. The final dance.
Let's be honest, they're probably shocked he got them there. Let's be very frank about that for a moment here, because I don't think anybody anticipated the Seahawks and the Patriots getting the Super Bowl, either one of them this year.
Fair, but as a commodity,
nobody was like, I know who's going to win this one. The Seahawks.
The quantity of center no like come from like the Jets. Terrible. Oh God, goes Carolina starts rebuilding. Moves around. Looks like a serviceable quarterback. The guy that's a legit like staple in this NFL, which what he was drafted for, comes with a Super Bowl. Like but they also need to give him the reins to go win it. It's like let's get it to Kenneth Walker, which once Charbonnet went down, my stock in how well the Seahawks was going to play went down. So my sports bet last night was Seahawks win, Patriots in the cover in the under, and boy, I was wrong because Seahawks just blew them out.
I think the big thing is what Vinny just said. You know what? I said this when we played the Patriots. They had the easiest cakewalk schedule of anybody in the NFL. They get that schedule. I mean, listen, it is what it is. They got the schedule they got. It's not like they were like, give us the easiest one. They just happened to have gotten that. Like, I'm not trying to blast them for that part, but they did have the easiest schedule. They're the only ones with the strength of schedule under 400 this whole entire offseason. Like, literally, the teams they played literally won 39% of the games they played.
Yeah. Yeah. And what was the stat? It was the second weakest of schedule to the Super Bowl since 1976.
Yeah, I didn't see that part, but I believe it all day long. It was
something along the
schedule,
especially because once you get to the playoffs, what happens? Everyone that you're playing is in
playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs.
Everyone you play against, their MVP is injured.
Yeah,
and they're not playing great football.
Yeah, but I mean, you get that cakewalk schedule. You go into to play the Chargers. Herbert's injured. You go in to play the Broncos, and Bo Nix is completely out of the game. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like, literally, it couldn't have been an easier walk to the Super Bowl because, listen, the straight schedule. It is what it is. You can't change it. That's predetermined. But once you get to the playoffs, that's usually when they get to weed it out. And
when you're playing
go against, well, that's what I'm saying. You go against the MVP of the team, and they're not playing the game. You're playing injured teams in the AFC.
But again, they played the schedule they had. It's not like they asked for a cakewalk schedule. It just happened to be luck of the draw. And I don't want to take too much away from them because at the same point they got to the Super Bowl. Let's be very frank about this. If the Giants make it next year to the Super Bowl, you and I would be ecstatic.
100%. I have to put it in I would have to put in Jay's comment. I have to interact right there. Yeah. Making the Super Bowl after a rebuild year is an amazing accomplishment, no matter how you look at it. And you're absolutely right, Jay. So,
yeah, and I would be absolutely ecstatic if they make it there, even if they lose in next year in a rebuild year. So I got to put myself in the seat of a Patriots fan and go, it probably hurts a little today, but in the end, this is the team much farther this year than you probably ever thought they were. Now,
especially after the prior year where they were, what, three wins?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, last couple of years in general, they've had bad couple of years there. So,
bad, but last year was the worst.
Right, last year was pretty bad. So we'll see what happens, but hopefully the Giants do make it. Because side note, and I don't think I even told you this, Rob, I'm going to the Super Bowl next year.
Oh,
so I've been offered to go, Media Row, all that stuff. I'll be on Radio Row and all that stuff there. So that'll be fun. So it'd be extra fun if the Giants were actually in the game on top of that. That'd be amazing.
Oh yeah, man.
But yeah, listen, the Giants, like I said, they need to look at what the Patriots did this year and look at that as inspiration. They really do. You can turn around, even look at what the Broncos did even, this year, and same kind of thing. A couple of years ago, they were poop and they got a rookie quarterback. And now the second year, all of a sudden, let's be honest, if Bo Nix doesn't get hurt, maybe they're the ones who went to the Super Bowl, not the Patriots.
Most likely.
And again, we don't know.
Likely.
We don't know. I'll say that. We don't know. It's a possibility.
We don't. But most likely, you're right.
Look at this. Look at the Seahawks, though. They make huge changes huge changes. They go out and they get, a new head coach, fire a legendary head coach, go get a brand new head coach. And then this past offseason, change the quarterback, get rid of your 2 top receivers, make tons of changes there to mainstays within the organization. And now they win a Super Bowl.
And since we started this podcast, like I've not hidden the fact that I do like Sneaky Pete. I did like Sneaky Pete.
His time is gone. That's all there is to it.
It is. Thank you for letting me not get into the whole conversation of me saying that, Drew, by just interacting and just stopping me saying that. So thanks, Drew.
That's what I'm here for.
Anyway, yes, exactly what Drew said.
I'm sorry, your comment was late, like you. What?
Turned out for what? They get rid of Russ early. Everyone thought they were crazy. They get rid of the head coach early. Thought they were crazy. They bring in Geno Smith, but the old head coach, and that's crazy. They get rid of him. Why would you get Geno Smith? He's been rebuilding his whole career around you guys, and they get rid of everyone that they thought was a problem, and they won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So Giants fans, that's something we should be ecstatic for, because we have made a lot of changes to our staff already.
Yep.
And there's a lot of stuff we talked about, like higher up management. Like Drew and I talked about last year, this year. Got to get rid of some of those guys that have been there for 4 decades, and you're still making the same mistakes you did two decades ago, 25 years ago. Like John came in here and just cleared house.
Yeah. And what
a little bit of hope.
Seahawks doing it shows that's what you should do. Don't be stagnant. Don't be, dealing with status quo. And that goes for a team that's even 500, let alone a team as bad as the Giants have been. So, hopefully the Giants can have this kind of success. But definitely kudos and congrats there to the Seahawks, on a great game, because they controlled that game pretty much beginning to end. Congrats to their players, fans, and all on a Super Bowl victory. Congrats to the Patriots also on, again, having a season they probably didn't expect, let's be honest. So give them all the credit on that. Tough game for Drake May. I felt bad for him. 2 interceptions, fumble, doesn't look good, but never had a chance to get comfortable. I'll tell you this, they're going to go crazy, I think, in the offseason and try to continue improving their offensive line they've already been working on improving. That's for damn sure, because that did not look good at all. And poor Will Campbell, rookie in the playing, in his Super Bowl as a rookie at left tackle and getting destroyed. I felt bad for that kid. Don't get me wrong, they're all adults in the end. You got to do your job, but that's rough. That your first year, as the guy kept getting pummeled all throughout his Super Bowl's rookie year. Because we'll think about that.
Yeah, aside that though, I have to give a big shout out to Jay over here. It's Shane Gillis. I did not get to see the fight. I sadly had to deal with the Williams birthday party, and went to bed early. That's besides the point. But yes, I watched the highlights. Shane Gillis, amazing. And he kind of looked like he drew the fighter.
Okay. But yeah, it is what it is. So, congrats also to K9 Kenneth Walker on getting MVP. Deserved it 100%, pretty much there. The only other person I would say should have gotten it ahead of him, and I was saying it, is Jason Myers, the kicker. That'd have been hilarious. Yeah. Kicker. What, 5 field goals and an extra point? I mean,
well, yeah. As Giants fans, listen, we should definitely be able to put that out, because especially that 07 Super Bowl where we just planted the ball at great points on the field and made the other teams in the playoffs just start at terrible spots where our defense could just step up and make them have to punt the ball, not go for it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I just like I said, it'd be interesting. I would have loved the kicker to get it, because he deserved it. He flat out deserved it. Though, again, Kana had a great game. Not trying to take anything away from him, but in stretching the imagination. And what Anthony said here is 100% correct. Probably the most patient running back you'll ever see. And
this year, yes. Well, overall this year,
overall, I mean, there's one point they pointed out he like stopped and paused for 3 seconds before he hit the hole.
Yeah, I was going to say that because like he adapted to the game and he's learned a lot. Because if you look at him 2 years ago, that was not the player who he was. So he has definitely watched some tape and understood what was going on. So kudos to him for definitely putting the homework in.
Yeah, definitely. So we got to do we do like the last couple of years here. We got to talk about the halftime show, of course. The Bad Bunny halftime show, which is what everybody's been talking about pretty much all day
long.
Listen, I gotta say, I'm not gonna pretend to understand it. I don't speak Spanish, but I enjoyed the show itself. I wish I'd understood it. I wish it was in English like that so I could understood it. But I think you hired a guy to do this that was specifically a Spanish speaking, artist. And I look at this, and we talked about this last year as well. It's like people got to recognize the halftime show is a marketing thing for the NFL. And we can talk about, it should be English because in America, and you hear a lot of people saying that stuff. This is a marketing thing. And they wanted to go ahead and extend their market into, Latin America, South America, Central America. And I think people got to recognize it's not an American event anymore. It's a worldwide event now. That's what they want it to be.
It is definitely part of that. It is definitely like you have people arguing about this lead up to Puerto Rico is part of America.
Damn sure it is.
But it is what it's, and that's our language. And the language of America, let's read the Constitution and all the Bill of Rights and everything there. Guess what? There's no goddamn language. So it is this is a country of immigrants. So yes, we all speak English here. Mostly, but there's a lot of people in America that don't speak English, and that's part of what makes America so great. So
I was surprised people got upset.
I'm not a fan of rap. I'm not a fan of Latin music, if you will. I'm a metalhead. Let's be straight. If he sung a metal, like it'd be one thing, but he's a big pop star. What has the NFL done for the past 3 decades? We're doing a halftime show. You bring in big pop stars. It's sort of what Michael Jackson, 1993, like
before that even. I think didn't Gloria Estefan do 92? I think I heard. I'm trying to remember going that far, but obviously we had the Whitney Houston doing the Star Spangled Banner in 1990 and brought down the house. I mean, it wasn't a halftime show, but still they brought in a big star for that specifically.
Yeah. So it's just what I think it is more of the.
Yep.
Bringing everyone together, being I don't want to say negatively, but like just more of like the interconnection of America.
It was a neighborly feel to what I felt like, because the whole thing at the end, even like let's list every single country throughout the Americas, and then with the football sets like what America is, we are America or something like that. I forget exactly what it says. He held it up way too short for that, But like I said, I don't pretend to know the music. Not the style of music. I don't think he's ever going to be in my Spotify collection, that's for sure. But it was an entertaining show. There's a lot of movement. There's a lot of getting around. Like I said, I had no beef with it personally. I thought the show itself was pretty good. You bring out a couple people. You bring out Lady Gaga. You bring out Ricky Martin. You bring out, I shouldn't say bring out even, but you had celebrities dancing even on it. The people may not have realized during it. Jessica Alba, Pedro Pascal, those guys were out there. So though Jessica Alba was hilarious to me because she was dancing like the mom at a school dance, like just like kind of moving around and watching everybody.
All right.
Yeah, she's like, I don't know if I should.
That just shows you how good of an actress she is, because look at her at Sin City. Look at her at the halftime show. Just say.
You get me in trouble. Like I said, and Deb saying, look at the English lyrics and tell me your sport. Like I said, I don't pretend to know the lyrics. It is what it is, because it is every single. I feel like every single artist that nowadays does stuff that's just, again, without knowing the lyrics, obviously I don't know exactly what's in there, but
I'm on the same boat. I did not look up any of the languages or what he was saying in English. But I do know what is the biggest point in rap, right? It's rhythm. It's kind of like you're telling a poem a little bit. And if you go from one language to another and try to sing the same song, it's not going to work out the same just because of the style of the music it is.
Yeah. And like I said, every artist has. I mean, the other halftime show had Kid Rock did a whole song about underage girls years ago. So, I mean, it's like, I hate to say that we accept it per se, but it's like, if you go based on lyrics that are clean and that's it, good luck. Gotta go. Let's go bring Donnie and Marie Osmond, I guess. Like, that's what. And I'm sure if you look at their lyrics, enough, we'll find something too. So,
yeah, definitely. I mean,
what is this little bit country,
I also
this little bit rock.
I mean, I know Drew, you kind of kept it to yourself over there, you and the missus, which means you and your father-in-law watched the show.
I was saying, yeah, it was just me, the two of us. She was watching something else on TV.
Yeah, the puppy bowl, yeah. But we had a couple guests over. It was a very small thing, and when it came to halftime, I was like, it's real. I wasn't that interested into it, so I was doing more of the kitchen stuff.
Oh yeah, no, I was making food while I was watching it. I just happened to be heating up some pulled pork pizzas while it was going on. So I happened to catch it. It wasn't like I have to watch this kind of moment necessarily, but it was there. Like I said, I thought the show itself was entertaining, even though I have no clue what he said besides the end, the whole unity message at the end. That's the only part I understood.
Although I'll have to say, like, because I did win a couple of bucks because I put out Kid Rock started off that halftime show with the ball.
Yeah, the English lyrics, ba with the ba.
Yeah, exactly. Which was very ironic.
Oh my gosh. It is, like I said, it is what it is. Like I said, I thought it was an interesting show overall. Again, I don't pretend to know what the hell he said, but unity message at the end I thought was nice. I thought the stage was interesting. Like, all the people, like the vegetation stuff was actually people.
Oh, I don't know. What's that?
Yeah, there was people. It showed a video of them running onto the field during it. It's like, I don't know if they're supposed to be sugar canes, I'm guessing, or something like that they were doing the field.
I just saw
and there was actual people. Yeah, it was actual people dressed up as them running onto the field and stuff like that. Like I said, the stage performance itself was nice, I thought. So
yeah.
Like I said,
I have to say, also the commercials. The Ben Stiller commercial was one of my favorites. Top 5 of the Super Bowl. His brother.
I really like the Jurassic Park one, though. I saw it before.
Yes, that's my favorite.
The Jurassic Park one.
My favorite is between the Jurassic Park and, as corny as it sounds, the Budweiser commercial. With the horse teaching the eagle how to fly. And I don't drink Budweiser, but I wanted a Bud Heavy that day.
No, I never wanted Budweiser. Can we make it a rule, though, going forward, that the companies don't release the commercials beforehand?
Yeah, it's kind of messed up.
Like, release them afterwards, by all means. I hate when they do, because I saw
there a lot of big ones came through.
Park one beforehand, and I loved it. Like, I thought it was an amazing commercial. Like, I really did.
Do you know who directed that?
What's his name? The guy that did
Thor Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok. I was gonna mess up his name. It's the Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi.
I'm gonna mess up his name. The same guy who did, by the way.
Do we just switch roles here?
I don't know.
Can you pronounce the name, or can I? Taika Waititi.
But yeah, that's it. I guess that's actually how you do pronounce the name. But he also did whatchamacallit? What's the vampire one he did? What We Do in the Shadows.
Yes.
Was not just a TV show, but it was a movie beforehand, and the movie was freaking
like in the 50s.
What, in the 50s? No.
The 50s. Oh, well, you're talking about the
it's like a vampire real world.
Yeah, but that was done in
New Zealand, because that's where he's from, New Zealand.
Oh. So, I thought you were talking about that.
I don't even know what the term is.
Johnny
New Zealandish? New Zealandish? Is that a word? I don't know what.
New Zealander.
New Zealandite?
New Zealander.
Anyway, let's get to actual Giants football here. Maybe hopefully next year we'll be talking about the Giants in the Super Bowl. But let's get to them in the meantime, because we got some major coaching hires here, guys. So we're going to get right into that, of course. Once we're done paying the bills here. So we always got to remind you guys, of course, that if you want to support the show, you got the buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs, which is the way we do get the highest percentage of that money. So also, of course, you can do super chats through YouTube, memberships through YouTube as well. Also, of course, our store is up. We got 2giantgoofballs-shop.fourthwall.com, which, of course, like I said, we have all our new shirts up there, including the Let 'em Cook there you see on the right-hand side there. And, of course, we're still running our special as well right now, where you do get free shipping on any order over $100 there. And like I said, we got all the new shirts up, including the Wandale Rex, the Harbaugh In, the Believe Again. We did put the Scataboom up there. The Scataboom was actually a pretty popular one there too. So I said go ahead and check those out. Again, the website for that one there is 2giantgoofballs-shop.fourthwall.com. All right. Let's get to all the Giants stuff here, because we got a lot to go over with the Giants here. So get everything back here. First, the big hire, the one that everybody was like, "Oh, what's going on here?" And that's the offensive line coach. Well, let's be honest, we all wanted Carmen Brasillo back. I think it's pretty safe to say we all wanted him back, right? Well, whatever reason, he's not coming back. I don't know if it's issues with him on, the Harbaugh system, or Harbaugh personally, or he just wanted to go with Dable over to Tennessee. I don't pretend to know this. But we've now hired Mike Bloomgren as our new offensive line coach. And let's be honest here, guys, there's a lot of people not very happy about this. Guy's been coaching, though, for many, many years, 49 years old. Last year was with the Cleveland Browns as their offensive line coach. This was his first and only time as an NFL offensive line coach. And that's what's got people upset. Not very experienced in NFL O-line coaching. Is a little more in college. We'll get to that later. Browns gave up sacks on 8.37% of pass attempts last year, as 25th in the NFL. Gave up 3.9 yards per rush. I'm sorry, allowed 3.9 yards per rush. There.
I was about to say 8.9. 3.9. Sorry.
3.9. I say 8.9.
You said 8. Yeah.
I wish they gave they were getting 8.9 yards. Yeah, they're getting 3.9 yards for a rush there, which is 26th in the NFL. Obviously, 32 teams, not very great. PFF ranked the Browns as the 31st offensive line in the NFL. Again, out of 32 teams, not very good. Only team that ranked worse than them was the Las Vegas Raiders. Showing my age here. I don't even know what team they're on anymore. They moved like 5 times. I think the problem you really got to remember with this, though, is, and again, I'm not trying to be the homer. I'm not trying to be the positive everything here, but we got to give the complete story. Let's be very frank first. The Browns offensive line played like crap last year. That's pretty safe to say, correct?
Very safe to say. Every one of their 4 quarterbacks ran for their life.
Yes. So it's very fair for anybody who wants to call into question this. Very, very fair. So here's what I want you guys to remember, though, as well with this, because, again, you got to tell the whole story. The Browns had a ton of injuries all over their offensive line. I'll give you the full list in a minute. You're like, wow, the Giants were actually healthy to somebody for once. They also had to block for not 1, but 2 different rookie quarterbacks. And we all know, we saw it ourselves with Jackson Dart even this year. Rookie quarterbacks will hold on to the ball too long. They will make mistakes. They will cause issues for the offensive line. That is life in the NFL. Here's the injuries they had. Starting left tackle, DeJuan Jones. Season ended in week 3 when he tore his LCL. So we got 14 of the 17 games. Joe Bitonio was their left guard. Didn't miss a game, but had lingering knee, back issues all throughout the entire season. Was listed as questionable through much of the year as well. Ethan Pokic was the torn Achilles, missed 4 games. Wyatt Teller, knee calf injury, missed 4 games. Right tackle, Jack Conklin, knee injury at the beginning of the year, and a concussion later on in the year, played only 8 games, so missed a little more than half. Backups even had injuries. Backup Zach Zinter, the former Michigan Wolverine there, had a back injury, played in just 5 games. Backup interior offensive lineman Justin Osborne went on IR before the season even began. That's freaking ton of injuries, guys.
Yeah, and we saw what happens when our offensive line gets injured. It's a crapshoot.
Yeah, it just seems to me like you can. I'm not going to say you give him a pass, but I'm going to sit there and say an incomplete that year. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you can look at that and go, well, let's judge him when he had not a single starter healthy for that offensive line and had 2 rookie quarterbacks they were blocking for. You know, like I think that's a legitimate thing to do and say, again, not you give him the clear, but you give him kind of an incomplete kind of grade, and you go, I don't know, what do I think of him still? So you kind of have to go back to his prior days. So before that, going to the Browns, he was the head coach over at Rice. Had a 24-52 record, so obviously not very good. Before that, Stanford, he was with Stanford from 2011 to 2024. So that's a pretty long time with one school. Started off as their run game coordinator and offensive line coach, then became their offensive coordinator and offensive line coach, then became their assistant head coach, offensive coordinator, and offensive line coach for his last 4 years there with the team. So, yeah, these was kept on adding titles throughout his time there. Prior to that, he was an offensive assistant and a offensive quality control coach for the Jets. Was the offensive coordinator, offensive line coach, and special teams coach for Delta State. I got to say, that's got to be a jump. You're going from Delta State to the New York Jets.
It's a big jump, and that was like that late 2000s, right before 2010. That was right around the Sanchez years. No, that line was respectable.
Yeah, 07 to 010. I have to look it up even.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I can't remember what we're talking. Yeah, we are talking Rex Ryan.
Yeah, where the offensive line, it was very serviceable.
Yeah, which is interesting because you just brought up a very interesting point, and I was going to kind of get to before, is that there's no connection really between Harbaugh and this guy here. So, you know, usually they get people who've worked with one of the 2 Harbaughs, John or Jim. Mike Bloomgren did work with Rex Ryan, who's got the connection, obviously, to Harbaugh, both with Baltimore and back to, you know, their college coaching days, even for those 2. So interesting there. There is the connection there. Look at that, Rob, getting that. Like I said, everybody's talked about that not being a connection. We're throwing the connection. We're 5th degree Kevin Baconing this year. Okay, we're doing it.
Listen, by the way, it's Dumb and Dumber, the Tebow and Sanchez years.
Anybody who's interested, by the way, Delta State University is in Cleveland, Mississippi. In case that's ever a Jeopardy question.
Yeah, that's like a trivia bingo card. We learned from the goofballs.
Before that, before his days in Delta State, he was a couple of years in Catawba as an offensive coordinator, offensive line coach, and special teams coach yet again. That's in Salisbury, North Dakota. Salisbury, North Carolina. Wrong North. And started his career out as a graduate assistant over in Alabama. So, again, I don't know what to think of him. I'm not going to say
it was Alabama freaking Bama.
Alabama freaking Bama. Don't give me to roll tide there. But listen, I'm not going to say we give him a blind pass for everything. You can sit there and question this hire, going, was this the best guy? But you can also sit there and say, it's John Harbaugh. I got to trust in John Harbaugh. You know, like, I think the big thing you look at is the days in Stanford, because, you know, you mentioned the connection we kind of made there with Rex Ryan and him, and John Harbaugh and Rex Ryan having that connection with their days together. Well, he also spent a lot of times at Stanford. Now, who was Stanford's head coach right before he got there? Jim Harbaugh. I don't think, and again, Jim Harbaugh didn't leave on bad terms. He left for the San Francisco 49ers. So, I'm sure he had some connections still to what was going on at Stanford those years and probably heard about this guy as well. So there are inadvertent connections there. The crazy thing is, a little interesting side note is his best connections probably in the NFL is to the McCaffrey family. He was the offensive coordinator for Christian McCaffrey in college. He was also the head coach for Luke McCaffrey in college. Because Luke McCaffrey, remember, went to Rice. He's like the only guy to come out of Rice and make it to the NFL there. So, like I said, interesting, weird connection to the McCaffrey family. Of course, McCaffrey family also having Giants connections because Ed McCaffrey started off with the Giants. NFL players he helped develop at Stanford. I thought this was kind of interesting. There were 7 players that went from during his time at Stanford into the NFL. Taking out the guys like Andrew Luck and Christian McCaffrey. And again, he was offensive coordinator for their time there. But I'm talking about specific offensive linemen now, since he was obviously going to be the offensive lineman coach for the Giants here. Andrus Peat, who of course played for a while for the New Orleans Saints. Joshua Garnett, Cameron Fleming, who of course had a nice long NFL career, and David Yankee all came out of Stanford during his time there and got into the NFL. So that's not bad to have 4 offensive linemen coming out of Stanford in a 7-year stretch and make it into the NFL. Stanford's not exactly Alabama, Georgia, where all their players go into the NFL and all their backups go into the NFL. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to talk myself into it, to be very frank with you.
I'm in the same boat. I have to give Jay credit here too, because it's a true statement too. Like you get the new regime in there, and it's the unsexy picks, like he said, is the ones that sometimes make the biggest splash because you don't expect anything from them, and hopefully, Jay, you're right about this pick because it's one of those that I looked at and it was like, we had Priscilla. Like we're at that. We're at that opportunity where we had probably one of our better coaches on this team overall.
I don't think Priscilla wanted to stay there, honestly. He may have said the right things in front of the camera that he wanted to stay and he was under the contract and blah, blah, blah. I don't think he wanted to stay there, very frank. I think he wanted to go with Brian Dable.
I mean, that's a strong possibility. He's been in the league long enough to understand how to talk to the media and to keep like the political posture of how to continue to stay relevant in the NFL. Because, like, let's be real, like Rex Ryan and the Ryans are great defensive coordinators. They don't know how to handle themselves in front of the camera.
No.
Which is probably more of a reason why they're not in the NFL than why they could be.
Well, Rex Ryan, ironically, is in front of the camera now instead, which is just insanity.
There's a difference as a head coach, a DC, or whatever coach position you're in, and how you handle the media compared to when you're in the media, because all you're trying to do in the media is try to get more clicks and likes. Yeah. And Rex Ryan's going to say the craziest thing because that's what comes to his head. And guess what? That gets the views and the clicks and likes.
Well, to Rob Ryan's defense, though, he is actually still coaching. You just don't see him anymore really as much. He's the assistant head coach for the USC Trojans there. So he's just in the college ranks now as opposed to being in the NFL there. But, you know, they've kind of probably just kept him quiet because his personality is what got him in trouble. And their father had the same thing. So
yeah, and
he just was really good. So people ignored it. But like I said, I think it's one of those hires, though, that I just look at this and I go, I don't see it. But again, we're not in the interview room. we're not having the conversation with people that worked with these people. And that's where I'm saying, like, it comes down to we got to trust John Harbaugh.
And it's not finding the sexiest pick here. If you're OC, the sexiest pick as your OC coach, as your QB coach, the sexiest pick for your O-line coach. It's about who works well with each other, because sometimes they may not be the number one stat. They could be 3, 4, 5, even 7. But if they work better together than the 1-1-1-1, that's look at Seahawks. Sometimes that's how you win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, and
like it's about the interconnectivity.
And I think it also got to be pointed out that a lot of people have a lot of faith in Grant Newsome, who's of course the assistant offensive line coach here with the Giants as well. So it's the two of them combined. And again, I know it's me trying to talk and I'm trying to talk myself into it. I can't. I mean, this is going to have to be a just trust John Harbaugh scenario. That's what it's going to have to be. So,
especially when you talk about the O-line coach, because it's such a sore subject for Giant fans in the past decade.
Yeah.
And then some.
Yep. So, yeah, we'll have to see. So, Giants also hired, though, a new cornerbacks coach here. And Addison Lynch, who's just 36 years old, was the cornerbacks coach for the Broncos last year, was let go at the end of the season. And quite frankly,
God.
No one knows why. No one. Like, they're not talking about it. There's no rumor mill thing about it. I tried searching like crazy to try to find out why. There's nothing. They just made a few changes after the playoff loss to the Patriots. They let go, of course, their OC, their wide receivers coach. Addison Lynch was let go in that as well. The only defensive coach let go. So that on paper does not look good. Let's be very frank about that. When you're the only one let go and it's your first year at that position, that doesn't look good. But you look at what the defense did, and that does look good. The Broncos were second in yards allowed per game, third in points allowed per game. Specifically speaking to the secondary, since he was a cornerbacks coach, they allowed 57.8 completion percentage to QBs, which was the second best in the NFL. They only gave up 6.1 yards per pass, which was best in the NFL. Patrick Surtain obviously was a second team All-Pro and a Pro Bowler this year. And obviously, let's be honest, he was good before he got there. I'm not trying to give Lynch the credit for him. Riley Moss was their second best corner at 64.9 PFF grade. So you look at it on paper and you go, well, the corner seems to do a good job. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have a way of telling you guys what happened, unfortunately, with that. I'd love to know, because just 1 year as their cornerbacks coach. Now, he did spend a couple of years prior to that as a defensive quality control coach with them. So it's not like it was his first year with the Broncos overall. It just seems weird to fire somebody like that with no reasoning given out whatsoever and nothing being found out by the media. That's the only thing throwing me for a loop in this one. Prior to the Broncos, he was a defensive quality control coach for the Lions for 22. He's an assistant DBs coach for the Raiders in 21, and also for the Chargers 18 to 21, and played DB for Bryant University 07 to 2011 as well. So 100% a DB guy.
The biggest D.
Well, that's a whole different topic. But to me, I kind of look at him as like an unknown commodity. And again, this is where I kind of said before with Bloomgren, it's like you have to kind of be in the interview room, kind of find out what you think of them that way. And we're just not in that position. So again, we're just going to have to trust Harbaugh.
Yeah, it's one of those because yeah.
I get it. But
obviously, Broncos had one of the better defenses last year, but.
Yeah. But I just feel like I look at him as the unknown commodity. 1 year as a cornerbacks coach, great results, got fired. There's things we just don't know. It's hard to give a grade or a thought process on this kind of hire, to be honest.
Especially usually we say allude to where the person comes from. It's because they came from a bad organization.
Mm-hmm.
The Broncos, I mean, recent Broncos, I mean, yes, the past couple of years since Sean Payton came over, it's been a better team. But historically, since LA days, have not been the best organization. I mean, yes, you had the Colin Orton years. Yes, you had the Tim Tebow years.
Tim
But
Tebow year.
yeah, have they been that great? There's a lot of Hail Marys out there, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But Sean Payton is also that guy who, kind of like a John Harbaugh. It's really real. Like he set in his, he's set in his ways, but he likes the people he likes. And
I feel like
this
he's
guy,
more like a jerk.
this
though.
guy, yeah, probably Sean's more of a jerk. I agree, but he definitely performed. He made the team look good. Replace him. Does he have that guy much better than him? But at the same time, like if you put up those numbers already, and like there's no outshining corner, like that's the guy you want to bring in to develop the room.
Yeah. Like I said, we definitely.
So
I can't hate the pick. I just don't know what to think of it, and that's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, I could also be speaking on my ass, and he first year as a cornerbacks coach, and I don't think they went down from the year prior, but like the challenge is not like the progress they saw. Maybe just butted heads. That's
I would say
the
it
case.
might have been a butting heads thing. It very well may have.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the players didn't like him. I don't know.
Yeah,
like
usually,
Patrick Surtain, I'm just saying this hypothetical for a second here. I'm not saying this happened, but let's say hypothetically, Patrick Surtain goes up to Sean Payton and goes, I don't like this guy. He's got to go. Who do you think they're going to let go? They had to pick between the two. And that's why, again, I'm just using hypotheticals. Something had to have obviously happened. They didn't just let him go for fun. It was like, hey, you have to fire somebody. Let's see you.
Yeah. And
Eeny, meeny, miny, moe, fire.
And you.
But again, we'll have to find out. We just don't know. And it's an unknown commodity at this point. But I mean, he's worked under some great coaches, and that's the one thing you got to definitely give him. Worked under Dan Campbell with the Lions, worked under Gus Bradley at two different spots, who's actually obviously well known as a defensive coordinator. Worked with Sean Payton, obviously, recently. So, worked with some better, coaches here within the NFL. So, and still young. So obviously there was something they liked about this. So we did hire another coach that has a lot more of experience. But before we do that, guys, if you haven't already, do me a favor, especially those on YouTube, hit that thumbs up for us there. It really does make that the show go out to more people there. So appreciate you guys on that. Giants did hire a veteran here. Hired veteran linebackers coach Frank Bush, who was the Titans linebackers coach the last couple of years. Obviously, the Giants, we've gone ahead and gotten, the new defensive coordinator there is literally the guy who he was coaching under, Denard Wilson, over in Tennessee. So, it's definitely a obvious connect the dots and, we know where that came from kind of scenario, that's for sure. But a lot of the guys we've been talking about have been kind of unknown commodities to a certain degree in the NFL. This guy's been coaching forever, guys. Yeah. Before he was a linebackers coach for the Titans, he spent 3 years as the linebackers coach for the Falcons, was the assistant head coach, inside linebackers coach for a couple of years for the Jets, and even was an interim defensive coordinator for the Jets back in 2020. Linebackers coach and assistant head coach for the Dolphins for a couple of years, linebackers coach for the Rams for a few years during their switch from, St. Louis over to LA. He was there in that time period. Was the linebackers coach for the Titans going back to 2011 and 12 again. So this is multiple stints here. Defensive coordinator for the Texans in 2009 and 2010. Senior defensive assistant for a couple of years prior to that. Was the assistant head coach and linebackers coach for the Cardinals back in 2006, and just linebackers coach and just the one role there for the 2 years prior to that. Secondary coach and special teams coach for the Broncos, 2000 to 2003. Was the linebackers coach for the Broncos. Now we're going far back here now. 1995 to 1999.
Damn.
Keep in mind, that means he's got 2 rings now from the Broncos and those John Elway trophies there. Back-to-back ones to end his career and, the years with Terrell Davis and all that stuff. That's how far back we're going. We're going back even further. He was the first NFL job he had as a coach was the linebackers coach for the Houston Oilers. Houston Oilers. Think about that.
That's how long.
Before that, he literally was a scout, the college scout for the Oilers from 87 to 92, and played 2 years with the Oilers prior to that. That's craziness, guys. Absolute craziness.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm just listen. I like it. We actually got somebody who's got experience.
A lot
of experience. Been a former defensive coordinator multiple times. I love the move. And you think with that kind of resume that he'd be like ancient. He's 63. I'm not going to say he's young, but that's not exactly ancient. Like you would think he'd
my
be
father.
Like, so I'm just saying, like, kudos to him. Great career, and hopefully we keep it going here with the Giants now. Definitely a guy that this is one of the ones I'm like, this is a home run here.
Yeah.
As Jay says, we need linebackers and Savage and Relentless is Richard Murphy. Apparently that was a Richard Murphy burner account that was in there. I don't know how Jay knows that.
Well, he dropped the Richard Murphy comment like.
Oh, did he? And I missed it?
Yeah, I deleted it real fast.
Okay.
And then he made the second
Richard
comment.
Murphy guy will not give up on us. Will not give up on us. So
what a dick, Murphy.
Oh, there he is again. Hold on, I got him. Ban him again. Another Richard Murphy sighting.
He was 24. This guy, Jay.
Can you imagine? Like, you're so bored in life that you got to sit there and go ahead and make a bunch of 24 accounts just to go into a random Giants show and try to like what the hell?
Was he a Phillies fan? I forget what it was.
I feel bad for him. I really do. Like, that's a sad life to live. That really is. Like, if we were sponsored by BetterHelp.com, I would go ahead and offer him some free clinic.
Send him a free link.
As Vinny says, I'm getting really old. I remember the Oilers with Warren Moon. Damn straight. I do too. But that was the end of the days pretty much there. I mean, his time, like 94. When they moved was like, what, 96?
Something like that.
I'm trying to remember. I'm looking it up right now.
Saying that Warren Moon was incredible.
So following the 96 season. So the 96 season was their last season with Houston. So yeah, he was just about the end of it. But that's crazy. That's crazy. But again, a good one finally. Like, I like this one. Like, we got a guy who's got a ton of experience. So also Deb asked if it was Warren Moon the first black quarterback. Definitely not the first black quarterback in the NFL. That goes back to 1953. I did look it up to see the first one. Willie Thrower. Ironically, his name was Thrower, and he was a quarterback.
I was supposed to say, what an incredible name.
Right? Seriously.
Especially too bad the NFL wasn't like what it was now. You come into the league. Hey, my name's Willie Thrower. That's what I do. Yeah. I throw.
Yeah. Now, they did say modern NFL, so I don't know if maybe the records just don't go far back enough to know. The
modern NFL usually goes into the Super Bowl era, if you will.
Yeah, 53 before the Super Bowl era. I'm just saying they might not have kept record of that, so they don't want. If there's no video, they don't want to sit there and suggest either way without knowing.
Well, there was video, but let's not go down that.
Well, I'm just saying they might not have a video. They didn't have a video of every game before that. You know what I mean? Like, wasn't like home TV was rampant in the 40s.
Fair.
You basically would like watch the papers afterwards. That's why everybody's home team was the guy they'd root for. They'd go to the game to watch. You couldn't watch it on TV.
Yeah. You had to watch the team, in your stadium. And if you moved out of Jersey and went to Philly, you had to wait till they play Philly twice a year.
Yeah.
Twice home team. Or become a Phillies fan.
Anyway.
In that case, Jersey Birds.
Crazy. Anyway, as we get sidetracked here with the NFL history here, we do have another announcement here to give you guys on Charlie Bullen, who, of course, already been interviewed, or at least been requested for interview with the Cardinals for their defensive coordinator job. I'm sure you all knew about the debacle with Jim Schwartz leaving the Browns because he was upset he didn't get the head coaching position. And for some reason, they thought he would just go, oh, I didn't get the head coach job? I guess I'll be the DC. Like, when does that happen that way, first off? Only the Browns would do that. Freaking morons.
Pretty much.
But yes, they went ahead and did not give him the job, expected him defensive coordinator. He's walked away from football for a year to avoid having to coach them. That's how bad it is. Unless somebody, trades for him or whatever the case may be, he's still under contract. But the Browns have also now requested to speak with Charlie Bullen about their defensive coordinator position as well. So, which would be interesting. Like, I don't know where I'd feel on that if I was him. Like, that's really good defense, but it's also the Browns.
If you go there as DC, like, you had the opportunity to go somewhere else because of how good that the defense is.
We just never know, and that's the problem because it's the Browns. And at the same point, you're following up Jim Schwartz with a top 5 NFL defense. So you go in there with you have to go ahead and be a top 5 guy, or else you'll fail. Like, if they're an average defense, you're gonna go, oh my God, Jim Schwartz left. This guy sucks compared to him.
Yeah, well, but if he goes from 6 to 7, no one's going to bat an eye. Like,
no. But I'm just saying, I feel like there's nowhere to go upward. You know what I mean? Like, unless they have like the best defense in the NFL, bar none, next year. Like, if I was him, I'd be interested more in the Cardinals position, to be honest, because you can go ahead and have an okay defense. They go, look, this was a shitty defense, and now it's okay. Like,
what's the Cardinals' ranked in defense?
I'd have to look it up, to be honest. I'm just assuming.
Probably. The Cardinals' defense second half of the year kept them in the game, so I have to assume
and Gannon is a good defensive coach. So
I assume it's 22.
You know what? They gave up 28.7 points a game, 29th in the league, 29th, and then they gave up 358.9 yards, which was the 26th. So yeah, they were crap. Like, I'm looking, every single one of their stats was like worse. Like
yeah, but you're looking over the season. You're looking over the season, right?
Yes.
Okay. We're not going to divide into it. I'm just saying, from the first half of the year to the second half of the year, that Cardinals defense played better football than the first half of the year, especially with Kyle Murray being out. That defense helped Jacoby look better as a quarterback in second string.
Yeah, I mean, let me see here. I'm trying to see if I can see their 25 season, because now the season's over. It's harder to pick stuff up real quick. So let's see. They gave up 20 points to the Rams. That's no biggie. They gave 37 points they gave to the Rams. I take it back. That's what they scored, was 20. He gave a 37 to the Rams, 37 to the Bengals, 26 to the Falcons, 40 to the Texans, 45 to the Rams. So that's their last 5 games.
So let's not talk about this anymore and move on.
That's what I'm saying. I would take that spot. I have nowhere to go but up. So we'll see. I mean, honestly, listen, Harbaugh wants him, so I hope he stays. But if you're going to go to a spot you can actually look good. That's all I'm saying. So,
and listen, Giants defense wasn't much better than the Cardinals. So if you make them look a little better, you already won.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's the right spot. So we do got to share the news also that Ray Handley, the former Giants head coach there, did pass away today as well. At least it was announced that he passed away today. He was the head coach for the Giants back in 91 and 92, following up Bill Parcells' era. 14 and 18 a record. And let's be honest here, guys. He's considered the worst head coach basically in Giants history. But we got to give him credit for the fact that he was also part of the 2 Super Bowl rings. And I think people kind of forget that because they're so upset at how things went down with the post-Parcells era there. But, was the Giants offensive backfield coach from 84 to 1990. Like I said, got those 2 Super Bowl rings, the 86 and the 90 there. Guy actually started coaching in 1967.
Damn.
That's yeah. So he almost 25 years he went into the NFL in the coaching there. Giants head coaching position was his last one. Really stayed very quiet after that experience there. I saw an article actually that somebody reached out to him when the Giants were in the Super Bowl actually back in 07. And they basically said no comment. He didn't want to talk to anybody in the media. So, listen, again, and Jay-Z even called me out for saying, I'm just saying what everybody else says. Take away the fact that how he was as a coach and how the results were. Obviously still a person. And like I said, still was part of the 2 Super Bowl rings with the Parcells era. So, condolences to his family. Hopefully, they deal with this as well as you can. I mean, I would never say this. I'm the worst with death. I really am.
Listen, there's no easy way around it. I mean,
no,
it is what it is. But
he's still a person.
He was still 81 years old. Like he lived a good life. Like, let's just be real. Like, he was a better head coach to the New York Giants than you and I were.
Put
together. So,
or Brian Gable, at least had close to a 500 record. I mean, you get more players.
Yeah, well,
like him.
I'm just saying, like, you look at that, like, you could make the argument, like, Parcells is that, like, his family's proud of him. Like, he lived a great life. So, kudos to the man that helped out our franchise.
See, Rob's gonna do all the eulogies from now on the show. Anyway, guys, that's gonna call it a night for us here. Jason, he died. It is what it is. Oh my god.
All right, Jay, you're banned for eulogies over here. He called out dead comes AC. My god.
Wow. My god.
I mean, it is post Super Bowl and it's Monday. I get it.
Oh my god. Deb says that it was literally the end of the day. My god. We're the worst. We're the worst.
Oh my god.
I hope none of his family's watching.
I'm a sixth sense of humor because, like, long time head rescue fire, like that's just kind of what it is. But he was a human being, and I thank him for what he's done for the Giants organization, even though it wasn't the best. But
like I said, we still won 2 rings with him as an assistant. I prefer to look at that in this category.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, he coached the offensive backfield. I think we had some decent running backs in those days.
A little bit.
Yeah. You don't think we did? I mean, just
Gilgamesh was on the team.
Yeah, Gilgamesh. Wow. I'm just saying, like, if you go back to his time frame there, Otis Anderson, Joe Morris, Dave Meggett. He's even around for the start of the the Rodney Hampton days at that point there. So, saying. Oh God. Chris says, hey guys, the chat, what did I miss? And Jay says, you missed him desecrating a recently deceased person. I can't even say it. He says, you missed him desecrating a recently deceased person. We weren't desecrating. We've said nice things about his time as an assistant. Sheesh. And quite frankly, I'm sure most podcasts either won't talk about it or will be much worse than we are, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Well, Jay says, well, he certainly isn't a good coach now. Oh my god. I'm waiting for someone to say he'll never lose a game as a coach again. Oh my gosh. We're horrible people.
Anyway, guys, it's been a great show. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. We apologize to the family for any out of control situations we may have talked about as we desecrated.
Oh my gosh.
My God.
Anyway, guys, that's gonna call it a night for us now before we get in more trouble. Appreciate you guys for watching, for supporting the show as always. We'll be back again with you guys on Wednesday. And we got a couple of things we haven't really got a chance to go over because of all the hirings and all. We still haven't done the annual goofball awards. We haven't done that yet. We still have to do our off-season plan for how to fix the Giants, which is also an annual tradition at this point as well, as sad as that is. So giving you guys our thoughts on what we would do and what we think is going to happen with the Giants this offseason here. So we'll probably try to bang those two out this rest of this week here on Wednesday, Thursday, unless something major happens there. We don't, who knows what's going to happen at this point. Could happen. One thing we have left really is the quarterback coach. That's probably the last thing. So, we'll see what happens. So anyway, guys, appreciate you guys for joining in as always and supporting as always. As always, we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday on YouTube, our preferred platform, along with, of course, Facebook, Twitter/X, Twitch, and of course, Rob's favorite, my LinkedIn profile. And of course, as always, we're available the next day on all the audio podcast platforms: Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and the video replay is also now available on Spotify as well there for you guys. So appreciate you guys for supporting the show. Watch the show, listen to the show. We'll see you guys on Wednesday night there. And as always, Giant fans, go G-Man! Go G-Man! G-Man!
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please.